Hi, this is a quick tutorial on how to set up AWS Deadline Cloud. It's a new rendering service from AWS. What this would allow me to do is send rendering or theoretically compute jobs up to the cloud and get back frames for my 3D scenes or videos or image compilations. It's pretty awesome, and it has two flavors. One is called Service Managed Fleet, and the other is called Customer Managed Fleet, right? Service Managed Fleet is everything set up for you. You just need to send up your project files, and then you get back your frames. And Customer Managed, you have to create your own images for the rendering workers, but you can do a lot on that, like mounting file share drives, things like that. I'll cover that in another video. Yeah, this is it's supposed to make life easier for you, which I think it does. Service Managed also has right now a few renderers like Maya, Nuke, Blender, Houdini, Karma, but I'm pretty sure there's way more coming in the future. And also allows you to track costs and see progress of jobs. From when I tested it, there was a web component too. So I was out in the parks and shopping, etc. And you can monitor jobs, right? You don't have to be in the office, and you can also track costs. You can set up budgets, so you don't get those what they call bill shocks, right? Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Let's get to it then. Yeah. So inside your console, you need to do a search here for Deadline Cloud, and you select it. Done over here, and you choose a region. I'm in Sydney region, and you'll see over here it says Set Up Deadline Cloud. So what I'll do is I click that, and there's a wizard. The idea here is in a couple of minutes get set up with an entire fleet of workers that you can start sending jobs to. So a little wizard. I'll say next. I'll give it a name. Oh look, this is a requirement, right? So IAM Identity Center does not exist, so we need to make that. So what I'll do is I'll open this new tab. Identity Center is just a nice way of managing users and groups. So you can have artists around the world or in your studios across the country, and you can make a username and a group for them, and then you can manage them. So as they come and go, you can enable, disable access. So it's pretty straightforward. Just click enable. Not much to it, and you can see in the picture over here. Connect to a directory, so that also has Active Directory support. In case you have that already, you can link it to it, and you can inherit all your user accounts and all your settings. So you'll see here it's enabled. Okay, so let's go back to Deadline Cloud and just give a little refresh on the page. And now what we'll do is we'll set it up again. So next. Now monitors what it is that your dashboard, basically, to see the jobs, see what workers are online, offline. Let's give it a name, so call it Cloud Studio. Let's call it Cloud Studio. Just like that. You can name this whatever you want to. The key thing is the URL. Okay. Region, this is Sydney. You can change region. There are certain regions supported. These are the ones supported, right? So choose the one closest to you. That's the advice. Settings. This is all pretty much standard. I'm going to make a new user role, so Deadline Cloud can talk to AWS Console and IAM, and you activate all the services required. And I click next. Description. Okay, this is the farm details. So how it works is you have farms. I think you can have 2 on Service Managed, and inside farms you can have fleets. So those are the individual instances that are rendering. So they all belong to farms. I want to create a new group, so I'm going to call this artists email address and give an email. Call this artist1, and then call this artist1, artistic username. There you go. Farm settings. Okay, don't need to worry about that. Let's click next. Okay, queue. So queues are what you send jobs into, right? You can have multiple queues. You can have queues for rush jobs, queues for certain artists, different locations. That way you can separate your work. And it uses S3, which is bucket storage or object storage. That just it's a temporary storage that you can hold your files. They only get deleted if you delete it. And you can always set up rules on S3, to archive after a period of time. So you could theoretically use this as your backup strategy. So as you're rendering, you're backing up at the same time. It's pretty handy. I'm going to create a new bucket and queue settings. I'm not doing custom managed fleet. I'll make a budget later. This is a queue role. So in order for jobs to go to a queue, it needs to make a access role. It works on least privilege, so this role can only do that job. It can't do anything else in the console. So very, very handy. And next. Now, fleet details, give another description, it's optional, put that in there. These are the instances, right? Spot instances, so it's compute that no one's using right now. So you get it at a discounted rate. I think it's like up to 90% or something. So it's pretty awesome. For CPU and GPU instances, when they're available in region. On demand, that's when I choose to turn the instance on and choose to turn it off. This is also very important, if you're doing things like real-time rendering, right? And you want to make sure you have a GPU instance for that duration. You can choose on demand, so you can do a blend. Auto scaling, this means it can set the number of instances that go up and down. There's some pretty insane logic in terms of how many instances are required for jobs. I'll set mine at 10, that way I can make sure I don't go over my budget, but you can scale this up, if you want to quite a large number, a couple of thousands, I think. So you can make sure you can hit those deadlines that you want. Capacity of workers, right now I'm doing CPU rendering, I don't need much, so I'll keep this low, but you can always scale it up afterwards. And details, again, security, I'm going to create a new fleet role, so my fleet can actually activate in my console. So next, it's a summary, so artist, and we're good to go, and it looks all good. So I'm going to use spot instances for this one. Create my file. Right, now it's just going through and setting up all the required components. It uses CloudFormation in the background for some of the things. What that is infrastructure as code. So you can program to create things and program to turn them off. It's very handy. You don't have to do it manually. Everything here can be reversible, by the way. So if you don't want to do something, you can always delete it. Some interesting things that I found about this is when you don't use service managed fleet, you don't pay for it, right? It's only when you render, and that's pretty handy. And also with, if you're rendering on a Nuke or Arnold, you pay for rendering time, right? You don't have to buy buckets like the previous Deadline 10, buckets of rendering time. So you pay for compute and you pay for the renderer. So it's a renderer license, not an editor license. Okay, I think it's all done. Go to dashboard. Here we go. Done. Monitor details. Done. There you go. So what we'll do now is I'll set up a machine in the next video and connect to this and then install Blender to submit jobs to my phone. And you can access all the documentation inside over here. Everything's set up, and that was pretty quick. All right, next video will be installing Blender and connecting monitor and sending some jobs here. All right, thanks.